live, so 5 seconds.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to AEW Dynamite. This is your host, Sandman Shane Sabunia, along with my good buddy, partner in crime, the Honorable Jeff. And we came in tonight, and there was a blockbuster lineup, and the show kind of started slow, but I think the last few matches picked things up, and it turned out to be a pretty good show.
Yeah, I can't disagree. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. This is Jeff alongside Shane, Zanman Sabunia. We are live on Spreaker, live on lordsofpainradio.net, and also live on YouTube. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. It's something we really do appreciate. I don't know. I felt like this was... The Battle Royal could have used a little bit more. The weirdness of Chris Statlander, I don't know if I've just missed it before or what's going on, but that kind of pulled me out of things. But man, those last two matches were amazing.
The Battle Royal, we and I talked about this a little bit, last night, that it was kind of pointless. And, we knew who was going to win coming in. And I was surprised to see that, they had said when the match started, the Young Bucks were the number one rated team anyway, which is weird. I really figured they would be lower than that, and I thought PNP would be the number one ranked tag team, but whatever. So the number one ranked tag team coming into the Battle Royal, they lead the Battle Royal as a number one ranked tag team, so I really don't understand what the point of the damn thing was.
We talked about it last night. They just need to get rid of the ranking systems altogether if all they're going to do is Battle Royals, mini tournaments, and four-way matches to determine the next contender anyway. But the story's been leading to the Bucks versus Page and Omega, so like you said, it was a no-brainer who was going to win it. I felt like the drama was a little bit ramped up when Nick got thrown out, but ultimately you knew Matt was going to be the one to come back and take it all.
All Nick being thrown out did was let Matt look like a Superman against three members of the Inner Circle.
Which is what Matt does. And that's what he's been doing for years. And that's, kind of that. It's as much as we hate that out of people like Cena and, some of the other Supermen.
Matt Riddle, Pete Dunne.
Yeah, as much as we hate it out of certain other players, that's what made Matt our Wrestler of the Year a couple of years ago, because he doesn't do it at the expense of other people. He may make his comeback like he did tonight, but he made his comeback with actual decent storytelling. Oh wait, the Bucks, they don't tell stories, do they?
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting.
Yeah, they don't have.
Yeah, it did make a lot of sense tonight because Sammy, Ortiz, Santana, they were all arrogant. They took their victory over Jackson for granted, and it ended up costing them in the end.
Well, and tonight we saw two cells of kicks that were just unreal. Like Sammy taking that super kick flying in off the top rope, the way that he just crumpled was an amazing way to sell that super kick. And then later on when Page kicked Rey Fenix and he just crumbled to the ground too. That's how you sell a kick. You don't have to flip over backwards. You don't have to, bounce 3 times in the air. That's how you sell getting kicked in the face.
Right. And we saw, you mentioned the women's match that we saw, Chris Statlander taking on Shanna. I really feel like Shanna should be dressed like Jungle Boy and just have a Tarzan type gimmick, because that's the only Shanna that I really know from history. But anyway. Yeah, Statlander is kind of weird, and this is where we got Jim Ross losing his damn mind.
Oh, that was the most entertaining part of the beginning of this match. I mean, you had Statlander in there doing cartwheels, and you had a boop fest, and right after the boop fest, JR goes off on a rant on cake. That was the most entertaining part of the match. To that point, it picked up after the commercial break, but
most entertaining part of the show, honestly, to that point.
I can't disagree with that.
But it was just so weird because he lost his damn mind. He's
To
like
the
he's
point
like
where Tony told me
why do we always call it a pie face?
some of
Why
us
isn't it
like
called a cake
cake.
face?
Some of us
You
like
know,
cake.
I like cake better than pie. Well, yeah, I
Was
like cake better than pie too, Jr. But when you go to like a circus or you go to like a carnival, people have pie and they stick it in people's faces. That's why it's called a pie
was it
face.
was it Shivani or was it Excalibur that told him to calm down? I don't know,
I think it was Excalibur.
that was the up to that point that was the most entertaining part of the night. The thing with the two things that really bugged me about the battle royal. First of all, why did the Dark Order send in the B team? Don't they want a chance at the? Doesn't Evil Uno and I can't remember the guy's name, Stu Grayson, don't they want a chance at the titles? Why'd they send the B team in? And secondly, who the hell was Chima's partner?
Well, I think that the Dark Order are waiting for what do they keep saying their top guy's name is?
The Exalted
What are they
One.
calling him?
The
The
Exalted
Exalted One.
One.
So obviously the Exalted One has a plan, and it's not for Evil Uno and Stu Grayson to be the tag team champions yet.
No, because why
And
wouldn't
I
you
have
want the
no idea
gold?
who Chima's tag team partner was.
Well, it seemed like he was in there by himself. Because even when he got eliminated, they mentioned some team, but I don't recall seeing anybody else from his team in that match. Did I lose you?
I thought I switched myself back off mute, but apparently I did
Oh.
not. I was sitting there talking to myself. Honestly, I was cooking when the battle royal was going on at the very beginning of it, so I figured that's a battle royal and who's going to win anyway. So I'll just kind of watch it with one eye. So I saw Jack Evans get eliminated, and I was watching, but I didn't see who else could have possibly have been Chima's partner in that match.
There was I didn't see anybody the entire match, and I watched it. I didn't, I had both eyes on it and I mean, the beginning of the match was confusing because it looked like Luchasaurus got eliminated, but then he wasn't, and Jack Evans, SCU doing their whatever it was they were doing, and then Jack Evans trying to duplicate it, and he ends up getting just kind of thrown out. That was kind of a lame spot there. But I I have no clue who Chima's partner was. I have no clue. I didn't see anybody that looked like they would have been his partner. It looked like he was in there by himself. Even when he got eliminated, they didn't really say much. They just kind of said, "Oh, this team got eliminated," but I have no clue who his partner was. I absolutely no clue.
I, and I totally missed SCU getting eliminated.
Oh, it was fine. They just it was nothing special. They just kind of both got eliminated at the same time.
Ah, okay, that's why I missed it. Because I remember seeing Scorpio, I think, get eliminated, but then I was like, well, what happened to Kazarian?
Yeah,
And I didn't realize it was the same time.
Frankie was eliminated like seconds later, if not at the same time. I'm trying to remember because there was somebody that got thrown out onto his partner, but I don't think that was SCU. Oh, that was Street Profits, where
Yeah,
Quinn got thrown out onto his
it was
partner.
great to see them again for the first time in what feels like 6 weeks.
Yeah, and I got to give them credit. I mean, tonight there wasn't too many backstage promos that really mattered. That they went to a commercial break. We saw Wardlow doing push-ups and MJF giving him a pep talk. That didn't need to be on the mic. But it seemed like everything else, they went to commercial breaks at the right times. They didn't, their picture in picture was the only thing that I thought was not probably. I wish they could save these picture in pictures. Like we don't need to see the Young Bucks celebrating in the ring and with the fans. We could have saved that picture in picture so that we didn't have to cut away from the tag match. Because that tag match was, especially once they got back from commercial break, that tag match hit another gear and was
And
just
some of these pictures in pictures are very weird. It's like, why are they doing like, 2/3 of it picture in picture, and then for the last two commercials, it's fully the commercial.
yeah, and
It's so
and
weird that they do that.
and the way that they did it, I mean, I get it. Some commercials probably have to have, because of their contracts or whatever, they have to have full screen, full attention, blah blah. But yeah, I wonder if there's a way that they can save those picture in pictures because I would have much rather had them cut out for 2 commercials during the Young Bucks celebration, the Wardlow yelling, than I would have had where it was at in the middle of that tag match. Because that tag match was good, and then it was during the commercial break. It was still entertaining, but then it just all of a sudden they went to full screen, you know, full screen commercial, and we missed a good minute of the match in the middle of it.
You know what's kind of funny is that we were during the women's match. Britt Green was out there talking, and she we had complained for how many weeks that she's they're put she's basically famous for being famous, and she's out there, she doesn't have any experience, and they're treating her like she's the biggest thing in the women's division, and now she actually is the biggest thing in the women's division. And when she said it out there, um, it was unironic. It was actually true for once. It was that I thought that was very interesting.
And I noticed that in her I was afraid when they announced her going to be at the announce booth that all we were going to get was her trashing Tony and JR the entire time, but she didn't. Not until the end when
Wait,
she.
why would she trash Tony? She's a big fan of Tony. She enjoys him making coffee, and she enjoys him back on commentary now.
Hey, his face on a Starbucks cup was kind of entertaining. I was wondering if they were going to run with that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
To get his face on a Starbucks cup was I want that Starbucks cup now, just for Tony Schiavone's face. But that
I'm sure
woman,
you'd like to do a lot of things with Tony Schiavone's face, Joe.
that woman's match was. Has she always been that weird? I don't remember her being. I mean, I know the whole boop of doom and all that stuff, and she's done that before. But the little cartwheel spot, and then their boop fest, and I just don't remember. I remember Chris Statlander as being probably one of the best women's wrestlers in the company, but I don't remember her being this weird. Have I just missed something? Was I not
She's
paying
been
close
weird,
enough?
but not quite this weird. I don't think.
Well, I didn't.
And yeah, I'm still right there in the same opinion that her and Sheeta are the two best women's wrestlers in the company.
I
I mean, I would include Beat Priestley in there too, except for we never see Beat Priestley
well,
anymore.
yeah, she hasn't been on since what Fight for the Fallen.
I think so.
But they I don't know. I know she's and whoever this chick she was against, Shayna or whatever, was actually pretty
Shanna.
talented too. She was actually pretty talented too. I enjoyed watching her.
She's talented, but as far as actual, I don't know, gravitas and technical ability, and
No,
I
she's
think she's
not
got
on
a
there.
little ways to go.
Yeah, she's not on their level yet, but she's definitely talented. And if um,
And then of
Statlander's
course,
going to
later
continue.
on when Nyla Rose came out there and she was talking, and right towards the end of her speech, your favorite Big Swole came out,
Oh
and then
my
I was like,
God.
oh yeah, I know, I could feel the rumble of Jeff jumping up and down from here.
Oh my God, that was embarrassing. It was just embarrassing. I have no other
All right,
words.
you just keep being a closet Big Swole fan then.
Oh, that was brutal. But and that belt looks so tiny now that Nyla Rose has it. I knew it was a tiny belt, but man, it looks small now.
Yep, that's okay though.
No, and see, this is why I wish that last week they hadn't cut away from her little promo with Kenny because her ability on the mic is very good. She's very good on the mic, and she can draw heat, and it's weird to see her be able to do that considering not too many people know much about her because they haven't really done much with her character except make her just this destroyer, the next Awesome Kong.
Right, and we didn't we talked very little about it last night, but we went on the air for Dynamite After Dark last week when it happened. But usually you and I have a huge problem with finisher kickouts in matches, right?
Right.
But to me, when Riho is hitting her finishers on Nyla Rose, because her finishers are a double stomp and a running knee strike, and she's about a third of the size of Nyla Rose, to me it made perfect sense that Nyla was able to withstand everything Rio threw at her.
Oh yeah.
Rio got a couple of quick pins on her in like a tag match, and then that singles match at All Out by getting trap pins and roll-ups. But I mean, I was watching that happen, and I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna have Nyla lose again to a double stomp from Riho. Are you kidding me? And when that didn't happen, I was like, yeah, that makes total sense because Riho just should not have enough firepower to put somebody like Nyla Rose away.
See, and I guess I never felt like that. I never felt like Rio was going to win that match last week. The tag team titles have changed hands, and the women's title next, and it's kind of scaring me because I almost don't want them to pull the trigger and put the belt on Moxley. But
Hmm.
this is Moxley Jericho has been the best story that they've told so far on AEW TV. It's been the longest and probably the most well thought out story they've told. I mean, they've got some of the side ones with, uh, well, I guess MJF and Cody's right up there too. But I don't. Has there been a better story that's been told than Mox versus Jericho, with all the ins and outs and different people coming in and
Um, Not that they really focused on, but I mean, I'm really enjoying the stuff between Pac and Hangman, or between Pac and Omega too.
yeah, but that's a lot of one sided with Pac, and Omega's too focused on his elite friends, which you can't blame him because he's in the middle of a tag team title run. And
Right.
again, too, if you get a chance to watch anything on AEW, it has to be anything Kenny Omega does. The man is it's such a treat to watch him every single week.
It really
Because
is.
again,
Uh,
he was everything he does is with purpose. That match again, that tag match, and a lot of that was Page and Lucha Brothers too. It was probably the match of the night again. Second week in a row that the tag match has been the match of the night. I can't say enough greatness about Kenny.
yeah, he's great. I really enjoy their. You know what I enjoy so much about their tag team is that they're just on the rough edge of smooth.
Right.
I mean, we've talked about this from the beginning since they started, but they have some great chemistry. They have some great double team moves together. We love their finisher, but at the same time, there's nothing there that looks like it's um, super smooth or it's going to last forever, or they have this amazing ability to gel. I mean, they're always just on that side where things could go wrong, where chaos could break out at any time, but they find a way to pull it together and they hit these moves to win. And you and I have said it on every show we've ever done that one of the great things about pro wrestling is when things don't go perfectly according to plan because then it doesn't look as um, fake as or predetermined as it really is.
Well,
And
and
so when there's a little bit of chaos thrown in there and it doesn't look super smooth, a lot of times it's just more real.
I mean, the last couple of matches, I've started to kind of catch on to what they're doing. I don't know if the timing of their moves are off. I don't know if I mean, but these are two professionals that, one of them is probably the best in the world. I'm starting to think that their little timing miscues are planned. Because I mean,
Could be. I mean, yeah, definitely some of them are. I don't know that all of them
well,
are.
the Kataya, I can't think of the Kataya Crusher. Is it called?
Guitar Crusher.
Where Hangman hits him with the rolling elbow first, and then the Crusher comes next. Last week, it almost looked like they blew it, where Kenny had to make an extra run, but this week it was just barely off, and it almost looked like it was planned.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying I don't know.
And then again with that their finisher has got to be my favorite right now. That has to be the best finisher,
Yeah,
best tag team finisher out there with that V
yeah. The
trigger
Buckshot Lariat
and,
V
and
trigger combo is just amazing.
and the way they did it tonight, where Kenny was just a step behind. And was it Phoenix? Was it Ray Phoenix that ate that?
It was.
Okay, because it looked like after Page hit him with the lariat, he kind of fell back a little bit into the V trigger, and the V trigger looked even more devastating than normal. I will say,
As great as Kenny Omega is, as great as I love that tag team, I just want to sing the praises of Ray Phoenix again
oh
because
yeah,
not only did he do a tornado into a cutter and make it look super smooth and devastating, but he also did a walk off the top, springboard off the top rope, hurricane rana from the apron to the floor.
Well,
Amazing
and
shit by this dude.
when he ran the rope to kick Kenny in the face,
Yep.
that was another spot. It just and I was a little worried because when he first got in the ring, how he normally runs from turnbuckle to turnbuckle, and he fell halfway through. I was a little worried he might be off his game, but oh, he was not. He was definitely
No,
on his game again.
he was sensational, and he sold that finisher like a champ.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah. He took that like a champ. He took that boot from Page, and that's like I said, that's the way you sell a kick to the face. He just dropped like a bag of potatoes.
yeah, and then once again we see at the end of there where, you know, Page is, and here's the other thing I want to say about this: is commentary is selling it like Page and Kenny have this incredible lack of chemistry, and they just kind of, they put things together to kind of win. But really, Page has never had a problem with Kenny.
No.
It's been the other members of the elite, like the Bucks, he's had a problem with.
Well, I mean, he
So
in his when they first started as a tag team, and he was in the commentary booth, and he was talking about how he's trying to get away from the elite, but they won't let him. He seemed like he had a problem with Kenny, but over the last two and a half, 3 months, well, 2 months, since they've been a tag team, they've really gelled together, and they clearly don't have a problem with each other.
right,
It's Matt and
you know,
Nick that he's got the problem with, which I still don't get. I mean, it doesn't make much sense to me. Again, there's no way that they're going to be able to turn Page heel. No way. Not with how over
no,
he is.
well, the way what I get it, what I'm getting from it is basically he's tired of the Bucks. He's having a lot of success, and he's tired of the Bucks kind of honing in on it.
Right.
And so, when he's there with his partner and the Bucks come out there and they try to take, his time from Kenny away, he just kind of bails out and he goes drinking.
Well, not just that, but it's he's out there celebrating his victory with his partner, and the Bucks have to be out there every single time.
Right.
They never let Kenny and Page have the spotlight.
Right. And then he goes over there to help his tag team partner up, and the Bucks are right there and they're helping him instead. And he's like, "Screw you guys! I'm gonna go get some beer."
Right. Yeah, and I don't know what he traded his last beer for, but that looked delicious. some and I like how he's like he looks at his beer, looks at that, and then hands the guy his beer and takes the whatever that mixed drink was.
Yeah.
That was pretty humorous too. But yeah, I don't know. They're never gonna be able to turn Page heel. They're just not. He is so over with his cowboy shit and the drinking beer and everything.
As much as I enjoyed Nyla Rose's promo, as much as I enjoyed this tag team title match, my favorite moment of the night was from Darby Allin.
Oh, my favorite moment of the night was from that commercial. With that
I'm talking
commercial.
about from the actual show,
Oh yeah,
Jeff,
yeah,
not from the
okay.
goddamn ad.
Oh, that was the line of the night, though. You have to admit.
The line of the night, sure, but with Darby Allin's music playing, the crowd popping like crazy for him, and then him standing on the apron, just glaring into the ring, ready for battle, was really spine tingling.
I don't know that they should have killed the lights for that, though. I think if they
They
would have
should no,
gotten
they
it,
should have definitely.
they would have gotten the same reaction just from playing his music.
It wouldn't have looked as cool though.
No, that's true. But they would have gotten the same reaction. I thought Taz might have oversold the tremendous pop for Darby Allin. It was great to see him. I'm
No, it was
glad
no, it was a great pop. It really was.
it was, but I don't
Uh,
know. It was great to
and I
see
and I
him.
love that and we talk about Superman, but I mean I love how he goes down there, 1-on-4, and he uses that skateboard like his Captain America's shield
Right.
to,
To
to kind
block.
of to make it down to 1 against 1. So
One thing I forgot to mention last night, and I thought about it again because I saw him do it another 3 times today. But that
hmm
promo that Jericho cut last week, where he was introducing Jeff Cobb, uh, I can't even count how many times Jake Hager rubbed his hands through his hair to straighten his hair, and he did it another 2 or 3 times tonight. they're just standing there and he's fixing his hair. He's rubbing his hands through his hair to fix it. I, I, I don't know. It was just something I noticed that kind of struck me as a little odd.
He's been doing that.
Yeah, it's a little odd. It's a little bit odd.
Yes.
Jeff Cobb looked incredible
It's
tonight.
amazing the little niggly things that you pick up that annoy
Right.
you.
Jeff Cobb looked impressive though too.
He did.
He looked really good.
So considering what you said, for a couple of weeks here, how annoyed are you that Jeff Cobb and Wardlow both made their in-rings debuts and they both lost tonight?
A little annoyed, but um, you knew it was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
There was no way Cody was going to lose, and there was no way that Moxley was going to lose. Not at this point in their programs. With only 10 days
No, I
to
actually
go.
kind of pictured the Moxley Cobb match went in a no contest, so I really wasn't expecting there to be a decision in that one.
I, I, Moxley's on such a tear right now, and 10 days away from taking the title. I just think that they had to give him the win. I am annoyed because I do think that one of the two of them should have actually gotten the win. I think Wardlow getting the win would have made more sense in that program than because that would so far in all of these little stipulations, Cody's getting the one-upsmanship. He beats
Mm-hmm.
Wardlow in a cage. He takes the lashes and um, looks stronger after doing so. It's in every aspect of this MJF Cody feud. Cody is getting the better of it.
Right, you forgot to mention that MJF's stipulation was that Cody can't touch him. Well, he's gotten the super kick and thrown into a pool by the Bucks.
Right.
He got attacked by both Brandy and Arn Anderson tonight. So like you said, in all aspects, Cody's getting the advantage. And really, he would have lost nothing by Wardlow getting the victory at him tonight.
No,
In
absolutely nothing.
in a steel cage against a bigger guy, making his debut. You know nothing about. It's not like he's going to lose his. It's not like he's going to lose his match against MJF by losing to Wardlow.
Well, in
So.
whether he wins or loses his match against Wardlow, or I'm sorry, against MJF at this point, could you imagine the promo we could have gotten next week from MJF if he'd gotten one up on Cody tonight?
Mm-hmm.
Now what's he gonna do? He can't go out there. He's got nothing to talk about. He got his ass beat by a 70-year-old guy and a woman, and his big powerhouse couldn't get the job done. So what's he going to go out there to brag about next week to lead up to the big match? It took away a lot of drama away from this match that they're going to have by having
That's an
Wardlow lose
excellent
this.
point. Yeah, I don't know where MJF has any kind of ground to stand on at this point.
He really doesn't. He's got nothing. I mean, like you just pointed out, and like I said, Cody has gotten one up on every aspect of this feud, every single aspect. He's looked stronger coming out of everything. He's either gotten the wins and the only thing that MJF has done is what do you do? Steal his finisher and name it the double cross.
Yep, he did that, and he had and he sicked the Butcher and the Blade on Cody for a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
That was
and
pretty much it.
the Butcher and the Blade got their asses beat pretty much hand over foot each time in each match.
Well, no, they beat Cody up. When Cody first appeared back like a week and a half, or yeah, like a week and a half after Full Gear, and then the next week they beat Cody and
CW or
what's his
not
name?
CW?
See that?
I don't think it's CW, is it? I'm thinking
No, I can't think of
CW.
his name right now, but
I'm thinking
his
CW
real name was
Anderson,
Mike, but I know you are. That's not who it is. Though.
he's got the apple.
The Apple guy.
Yeah.
Uh, anyway,
Well,
so
they
so they got the edge on in those 2 weeks, but I mean, really, so I mean, unless next week on Dynamite, Cody takes a 4-on-1 beatdown, and there's question whether he can actually make it to, there's quote unquote question as to whether he can make it to Revolution. There's basically no drama going into that match.
exactly, and that's supposed to be the big blood feud.
Right.
Well, one of two big blood feuds because you've got his brother against Hagar,
And then you got Sammy versus
Darby Allin.
Darby.
It's funny, but that might actually be the biggest blood feud out there right now, where there's heat on both sides. Because
Yep.
we haven't
But
seen.
I'm still looking forward. I'm still looking forward to next week's Iron Man main event.
Oh, I am too. I am too. And it makes me wonder what they're going to do with Pac. Pac's probably not going to be on this pay per view.
Yeah, probably not.
Which now it makes me
That's okay.
it makes me confused. Okay, so we've got Moxley against Jericho. We've got Cody and MJF. We've got the Bucks against Page and Omega. We've got the two other
Darby versus
feuds
Sammy.
and Dustin versus Hagar, and
Yep. So
and then
that's five.
then they'll throw a women's match on there.
Yeah. I mean, from what we saw tonight, it might end up being a triple threat between Nyla, uh, Statlander, and then your girl, Big Swole.
Bianca Swole.
You don't get to do that. I'm
Big
already doing that with one person.
Big
You don't get
Belair.
to copy me.
Um, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I don't think Britt Green's gonna have a match.
no.
So
Well, and there's going to be another tag match on there. Would they really run out 7 matches? They haven't so far. Because
haven't they?
they like to let their matches actually tell stories, and you can't do that in a 7 minute match. Most of their matches on their pay per views are 15, 20, 25 minutes long. So that might be the
I guess I haven't noticed the I thought seven was normally around the average, but maybe I'm wrong.
well maybe they do 7, but even still, if they do 7, that's just one more opening tag match, more than likely.
Opening tag match, or they might do a rematch between Joey Janela and Kip Sabian.
No, they
No.
won't. They've already got 4 singles matches on there on this card. I can't see another.
Right, so it'll be either be the women's match or a tag match. You're right.
My guess is it'll probably be like a 4 corner tag match or something like that. I can't see. They definitely won't do another male single match with 4 already on the card.
No, probably not.
And they've got 1 tag match and 1 women's match so far announced. So it'll probably, like you said, it'll probably be a triple threat women's match, because that seems to be what they're going is 1 women's match per show and 2 tag matches.
Yeah, I think that is about what they've been doing lately, isn't it?
Yeah, so that would make the most sense, is to have, and I would hope that they don't just do a normal tag match. I hope they would do something with triple threat or 4 corner tag match. All I know is I can't watch another SCU best friends tag match. I just can't.
Well, you'll get one next week on Dynamite.
But SCU
Oh
wouldn't.
no, no, I'm sorry. That's Best Friends against who is it? Butcher and
But
Blade.
yeah,
That's what it is.
to be honest, I actually could see an SCU versus Dark Order match, and maybe the Exalted One makes his appearance then.
Well, that depends. If it's Luke Harper, he might. If it's Matt Hardy, he won't.
If it's Christopher Daniels, they might.
That's true.
Christopher Daniels kind of popped into my head today because he was surprisingly absent. He did run after them last week.
Yeah, right. He was not around, was he?
He has been known as the Exalted One in the past in different organizations.
Well, you know who it definitely should be
Luke Harper.
is Juice Cassidy. Orange Cassidy.
Or Chima. Chima accepted their offer tonight, so.
Yeah.
Chima and his no tag team partner.
I mentioned last week on Kingdom of Honor that I wasn't sure what we'd be covering this coming week because I didn't know, if there was any wrestling going on this weekend. So I looked, and there actually is an Impact special this weekend. So there's a Sacrifice show I think we should probably watch this weekend to get ready for Kingdom of Honor next week.
Plus, there's a preview of the AEW show.
Isn't that next
That's
Wednesday?
That's next. Well, that's the AEW Dynamite, but we can break down the pay-per-view next on Tuesday.
Oh, gotcha.
I mean,
Okay.
we
I thought you.
kind of just ran through what we think the card is gonna be, but it should be fully taken shape by next Tuesday.
Well, there you go. We've got our show covered.
So,
Anything else on tonight's though?
nothing except again. I felt like it was a home run. The the missteps that they have had are so minor that I think just a few tweaks to their formatting maybe, and you know, letting the uh, letting the people cut promos. But I feel like every single week they're on fire. The guys that aren't on the card, like they are either getting mentioned or they're getting promo time, which is one of the biggest complaints we had in the beginning. They've kind of altered their picture-in-picture stuff for the most part. I mean, it's still depressing that they're having backstage promos during them, but tonight that wasn't a problem. I mean, it just seems like every single week they are easily putting on the best show on TV. I feel, um, and I don't. It was another great show. Quality matches, good performances. The announcing wasn't horrible.
No, and in fact, there was one time where I kind of like pumped my fist at what JR said when he said this is how a cage match always should have been,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
really he's completely right.
And we've talked about that many times about how what's the point of having a cage match? You have a cage match to get your partner alone, but you can escape the cage to win. It just doesn't make any sense.
Right, which is why I've always been like shaking my head and kind of disgust when people have told me that the greatest cage match of all time is Bret Hart versus Owen Hart from SummerSlam '94.
No, you can't end a blood feud in a cage when you escape the cage.
Yeah, a race should not end a blood feud.
Right. Exactly.
All right,
Exactly.
so
And so yeah, I mean, I thought the last few weeks I've actually felt like Jr. has been honestly better. He hasn't been caught up so much in what people are saying about him on Twitter. He's not pumping. Yeah, he's gotten his occasional plugs in there, but he's not plugging his show and his barbecue sauce and his books every step of the way. I he's been more in tune to the matches. He's called the matches very well. I've got nothing bad to say about JR's announcing over the last couple of weeks.
I was thinking about this. Is it possible that they completely worked us on all that? Because if you paid attention ever since Britt Green said that you call JR out for getting all their names wrong, he has not done it.
I I don't. Maybe he was just rusty. It's a possibility. He hadn't announced full time in God, what, almost 10 years. He had that little run for New Japan, but that wasn't a full time gig. He hasn't really been a full time announcer. Maybe he was just rusty. I think
Maybe. I mean,
he.
I mean, I did see that last week. He also did say, stay tuned next Monday for Dynamite or something
Yeah,
like that.
I mean, he does still have his little. When he, you got to realize he did something for 10 years. Some of it's gonna sneak in every now and then, but he's been a lot better. I think now he hasn't focused on what the fans are saying on Twitter. I felt like he's actually been on point the last couple of weeks, and it could
Except
be.
for the cake thing.
Well, I thought the cake thing was phenomenal.
It was funny and it was exciting and it kind of piqued my interest, but I just thought it was so dumb that he's like, why do we call it a pie face? Why don't we call it a cake face?
That was the highlight of the first hour of the show. I mean, come on.
Right, but it was still a stupid thing to say.
That's fine. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Anyway, tell everybody where they can listen to us.
All right, guys. Hopefully you're listening to us on Spreaker, on lordsofpainradio.net, and also on YouTube. If you are, do us a favor, drop a like on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell. We do this thing live twice a week, Tuesday nights at 6:30 or 7:30 Central Time for Kingdom of Honor, and then Wednesday nights immediately following Dynamite, AEW's Dynamite on TNT. And then, of course, YouTube exclusive shows, which we try to do every other week. Then we also have Patreon. It's patreon.com/Kingdom of Honor. Go there. help us out, donate to help the show, to pay the bills and so on. Also, our Twitter. I'm at Regi Co-op. He's at Zanman LOP. We use the hashtag KOH and the hashtag DAD for everything we do, or try to anyway.
We sure we sure do. Make sure to stay tuned to all the other LOP radio shows. Tomorrow night is MCLP Radio Adventure. On Friday is no longer the right side of the pond. Instead, it's going to be NWA the Legacy series. And then, like I said, we'll be back with you next Monday talking about Revolution preview, and then also talking about Impact's Sacrifice show.
Well, that'll be on Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Because
Is that what I said?
Yeah, you're too busy listening to a concert on Monday.
Yes, I will be at David Lee Roth and Kiss on Monday night next
And
week.
I swear to God,
Jeff's just jealous.
We should do it live during Beth. I swear to you, we should.
I thought you said you'd kill yourself if you ever heard the song Beth again.
I'm not going to be hearing it. I'll have you on mute and I'll just talk during Beth. I don't have to hear it. All right, kids.
All right, that's all we've got. We'll try to do better next time. This is Shane saying long days, pleasant nights, and Jeff saying
Hola, adios, see you later. You get no more goodbyes.